Yes then YouTube, the 4-4-2 is amazing this year, so without any further ado, let's just get straight into it. But before we get started YouTube, drop this video a like for me, drop a comment down below, and please hit that subscribe button to my channel. That would mean the world to me. So, you are going to want to use balanced on the defensive style.
For your cheapest and most reliable place to buy your FC24 coins, check out mmoexp.com. Link is down in the description below. Use the code WOLF at the checkout for 5% off your order.
Like I've been saying for a long time, well, a long time, the game's only been out a week, but like I've been saying since day one of FC24, defending is hard, so it really is all about getting your defensive structure and solidity right, because if you don't, you're going to lose way more games than you are going to win. So balance on the defensive style. One thing I will say though, pressure on every touch is good if you're maybe feeling a little bit brave and you are comfortable defending a lot of 1v1 situations. Now, what I mean by defending 1v1 situations is when your opponent is not running through on goal, but your opponent is kind of 1v1 against your defender. That's when you'll have a lot of 1v1 situations. If you're comfortable doing that, maybe give pressure on every touch a go. But for me right now, it is going to be balanced and probably will be for the long foreseeable future as well. The defensive width in the 4-4-2 is actually only 45, so I do go a little bit narrow than the preset 50. Like I've been saying a lot actually since the game's released, I really like it when my left back is very nice and tight to my left centre back. I really like that, and I like it on the opposite side as well when my right back is really nice and tight to my right centre back. I just feel like we're a lot more solid at the back with that, and then of course when we are like that, our whole back four in general is more tight and more solid. So because of that, there's not as many gaps for my opponent to exploit. You know, my opponent hasn't got a lot of gaps around my defence or in my midfield. He's not breaking the lines as easily as he would if I was on a higher width. So that's why I make it a little bit more narrow than the preset 50, and it's something I feel like you should be doing as well. The defensive depth YouTube, you've actually got two options, and I'm giving you two options because there's a very broken thing out at the minute that I feel like is going to be patched soon, but right now it's not. So I'm going to go with the first option first, which I think around about 95% of the people that are watching my video should do, and that is having your defensive depth on 55. So remember, we like to be a little bit more aggressive than the normal preset 50, having our defensive line just a little bit further up to the halfway line, but not too much YOLO. And at the same time, we kind of still want to put pressure on our opponents. So that's why I've been using 55 a lot until the other day, and this is where I think the other 5% of people that are watching this video will probably use as well. All the way up to 72 depth is what I'm using right now. Now, you might look at that straight away and think, whoa, what is my man doing? That is so high. And it is, but there is method to the madness. Now, at this moment in time, this was very popular actually on, I want to say FIFA 22, that if you had a certain depth on your defensive line, your team would constantly automatically offside trap and press for you. He's doing it right now again. So at this moment, while it's still working, I'm going to use and abuse it. So that's why I'm using 72 depth, to get that automatic offside trap and to get that automatic press. So again, two options, 55 depth, which I think most people will use. And let me know in the comment section down below which one you are going to use, or 72 depth. The offense, of course, is going to be balanced and direct passing. Yes, you guessed it. Not unfortunately, because I've been using it for the last 2 years, so I'm used to it, but that is still the meta. It has not changed. It really hasn't, YouTube. Until it does change, I'm just going to keep on using it, and that is for new gen and old gen as well. Old gen last year was a little bit different, but it's not anymore this year in terms of what to use. It is still balanced and direct passing for me. The offensive width, YouTube, is actually 50, so I actually leave it on 50. I don't touch it. So I really like where my left mid and my right mid are anyway in terms of like their preset positions. I really like it. So like, what's the saying? If it's not broke, don't try and fix it. So that's why I use the 50 width. I like where they are. I like the width of the team just on the basic setting. So I don't really want to do much with that, you know. Players in the box is of course going to be 7. It is that on every single custom tactics. Remember, the way I look at that is YouTube very much literally black or white, like left or right. Literally, the more players that we have in the box, I just feel like we score more goals. It's as simple as that. Very simple maths, and that's kind of the way that I look at that. Corners and free kicks, of course, is 2 and 2 to stop us getting counter-attacked on from our own corners and our own free kicks. And that brings us nicely on to the player instructions. Now, the two strikers are on exactly the same thing, YouTube. So, stay central, get in behind, and come back on defence. So both strikers straight away are on the same. Now, You might think that the comeback on defence is kind of like a defensive move, and it is kind of like a defensive move because it makes us more defensively solid, but at the same time, there is method to the madness in terms of it is actually an offensive move as well. Now, not as much so in the 4-2-2, which is a formation that I absolutely love, by the way, and you guys love it as well. Probably going to bring out an updated version of that over the next week when I can. But I kind of want to close off that gap in the middle of the pitch between the two central midfielders there. So Musiala and Kimmich for me on my road to glory. And then my two strikers, Gabriel Jesus and Danjuma. I want to close that gap off as much as I can. So having my two strikers on comeback on defence actually closes that gap off, which then actually makes us more offensively solid as well. So even though it makes us more defensively solid because we close the gap off when we're defending, but then when we get the ball as well, our central midfielders aren't a million miles away from our strikers, and you don't have that massive gap in the middle of the pitch. So it's definitely something I feel you guys should be using. The stay central and getting behind, bread and butter. Just your strikers within the 18-yard box, and you don't really want them venturing out. The left midfielder and the right midfielder are on exactly the same player instructions, YouTube. So the first thing you're going to want to do is come back on defence, get in behind, and get into the box for cross. Again, get in behind and get into the box for cross is so key in terms of the attacking output of the 4-4-2, a formation that I've grown to absolutely love, and if I'm being honest right now, probably my favourite on FIFA 23. Having that left midfielder and the right midfielder on getting to the box for cross, just again, like with the players in the box in the tactics part of the video, the more men, well, women as well, the more players that we have in the box, the more likely we are to score a goal. It really just is that simple, YouTube. When you break it down, if you have a shot with your, say my Danjuma has a shot on his 5-star weak foot across goal, my opponent's goalkeeper saves it, but then because my Doku, my right midfielder, is on getting to the box for cross, he is there for the rebound. Goals like that really do happen. So having your left midfielder and your right midfielder on that really does help. And the comeback on defence, just to be more defensively solid. Now, I play with one of my central midfielders, and it does not matter, YouTube, if you want it as your right or your left. So for me, the more defensive-minded central midfielder is, of course, Kimmich. He is then on stay back while attacking and cover centre. So the more defensive-minded centre mid, have that one on stay back while attacking and cover centre. The more attack-minded one for me is my left central midfielder, and that is Musiala. Leave that midfielder on balanced attack and cover centre. So have them both on cover centre, but then have one of your central midfielders on stay back while attacking and the other on balanced attack. So my Musiala will venture forward a little bit and help out into the attacking third or attacking side of the game. He will kind of venture into like that lamb/cam position a little bit when we got the ball, but because he's not on get forward or get into the box for cross, he won't completely YOLO it forward, but he will venture forward and get involved in that attacking side of the play. I then play with both of my left back and my right back, YouTube, on stay back while attacking. I do not attack with my fullbacks at all in the slightest. And then last but not least, my goalkeeper is on comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. And that right there is my brand new 4-4-2 custom tactics for you guys on EAFC 24. If you did enjoy this video, please, YouTube, drop it a like for me, drop a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button to my channel. That would mean the world to me. Thank you for watching. Remember, spread the love and positivity. PMA, positive mental attitude. Peace out. One love.